NABJ. NAB. NABJ. NABJ family, we so appreciate your patience and thank you for joining us for the 2026 Salute to Excellence Awards. The show will begin in just 10 minutes. NABJ family, thank you for joining us for this year's 2026 Salute to Excellence Awards. Please find your seats. Our program will begin in just a few minutes. But first, a few housekeeping notes. This event will be recorded and streamed live on social media and other web and broadcast platforms for local, regional, and national audiences. Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. Our show is about to begin. NABJ, are you ready? Let's try this again. NABJ, are you ready? Welcome to the 2026 Salute to Excellence Awards. Please welcome to the stage tonight's host, former ABC News anchor and correspondent, DeMarco Morgan, and actor, producer, and director, Terry J. Vaughn.
Yay!
I apologize for our late start, but good evening. Oh, come on.
Yes.
Good evening, everybody.
They mad. They sound like they mad at us.
For starting late, right? It wasn't our fault.
It wasn't our fault.
Had nothing
we didn't
to do with
it.
us. But let me try this. God is good and all the time.
Okay.
Now give yourselves a round of applause just for showing up this evening. All right, welcome to what will be a night of celebration, appreciation, and validation. Get ready to cheer on and love on some of the best journalists this business has to offer. Thanks a lot for joining us for the 2026 Salute to Excellence Gala. Again, I'm DeMarco Morgan.
And I am Terry J. Vaughn.
Give it up for Terry.
Thank you. I received that. And it feels good to be here in Atlanta with all of you. Yes, it's been 21 years since the ATL hosted NABJ's National Convention. 21 long years.
Long time.
Yes, but over the last 2 decades, this city has made strides both culturally and in the media.
And the theme of this year's convention is Our Revolution, Truth, Power, and Black Journalism. I love that. And what better place to celebrate this organization's revolution than a city full of revolutionaries? From Dr. King and John Lewis to our friends Jovita Moore, God rest her soul, and Monica Kaufman Pearson. Our nation and our industry would not be what it is had it not been for Atlanta.
Oh, sorry, that's me.
All good, Terry.
I don't know. I saw something. Okay, we hope that you have enjoyed your time here so far, and we hope you are ready to have fun tonight. The first honors of the night are for our student journalists. At schools across the nation, there are groups of young storytellers learning what it means to chase a story, fight for fairness, and inform the community.
Gotta love our young people. It's not always easy balancing schoolwork and hunting for jobs and scholarships, all while trying to enjoy college. You know something about that because you just dropped your 18-year-old son off for college today.
I did. I just got back.
Yes, and we're proud of that. But these recipients have already shown their willingness to sacrifice the fun for the future of journalism.
Here are your winners of this year's Collegiate Awards.
Here are your 2026 NABJ Salute to Excellence Award winners for Collegiate, Digital Media, Graduate, Best Use of Multimedia, Special Project. 200 years later, tour the Black neighborhood destroyed to create Central Park. Randy Richardson, Pavement Pieces, New York University, New York, New York.
This area of Central Park was home to shoemakers, farmers, and store clerks 2 centuries ago. Public historian Cynthia Copeland gave me a personal tour around the 40 acres that was Seneca Village.
Undergraduate, online feature reporting. Nonprofit organization helps former foster care youth move into HBCUs. Mila S. Roundy, Domenica Ellis, Misha Bernard Lucien, Tia Pitts, Professor Dominic McKenzie, Howard University News Service, Howard University, Washington, D.C. Undergraduate, online news reporting. In the midst of senioritis, college seniors struggle to access timely mental health support at Howard. Tatiana Allen, Howard University News Service, Howard University, Washington, D.C. Undergraduate, online sports reporting. Valerie Boyer-Wells finally finds her place in Sun Devil Athletics Hall of Fame. Tia Reed, Walter Cronkite Sports Network, Tempe, Arizona. Newspaper, undergraduate, feature reporting. Dandyism Deconstructed. This year's Met Gala draws inspiration from Black dandyism, a bold style that offers a fresh way for SMU students. Mari Sato, SMU Look Media, Southern Methodist University, Dallas, Texas. Undergraduate, general news reporting. Morehouse confronts potential threat of ICE arrival on campus. Elijah Qualls, Morehouse College Social Justice Journalism class in partnership with Capital B, Atlanta, Georgia. Television. Undergraduate, best newscast. Your news, your vision, your community. Presenting the Fall 25 News Vision Capstone. Jeffrey Jones, Raina McNeil, Jada White, Noah Jackson. Staff of Fall 25 News Vision Capstone. Supreme 7. Professor Jennifer Thomas, WHUT Howard University, Washington, D.C. Undergraduate, feature, short form. A look inside Fayetteville State's Archives Department. Shemai Cook and staff of Bronco TV 2025. What's hot with Shemai Cook? Fayetteville, North Carolina. Podcast. Undergraduate. Arts and Culture. A conversation with the legendary Tim Reed. Lauren Gilchrist, WNSB Hot 91, Norfolk, Virginia.
All right, let's give it up one more time for our first award winners of the night, everybody. And you can add winner to your bio, but that trophy, of course, will not be going home with you just yet.
Yes. Feel free to take a picture with a Salute to Excellence award on the red carpet out front after the gala is over. But your award with your name on it will be sent in the mail in the coming weeks. What's coming to your table right now, though? It's dinner.
It's time to eat, of course. My mom always says, if you can't thank God for what he's done, thank him for what he didn't allow to happen. Let's give thanks for the man who made it possible for us to be here tonight. Please welcome Reverend Natasha Reed Rice, everyone.
Good evening. To center us in this moment, I want to read a brief quote from the Dr. Maya Angelou. She said, "I believed that there was a God because I was told it by my grandmother and later by other adults. But when I found that I knew not only that there was a God, but that I was a child of God, when I understood that, when I comprehended that, more than that, when I internalized that, ingested that, I became courageous." Let us pray. To the one who reminds us who we are and whose we are, great God, we entreat and open ourselves to your presence in this place. We pray that as we gather, share stories, reflect on the inspirational witnesses of those we honor tonight, that we are reminded of our own calls and our own purposes, that we are encouraged to keep on keeping on, and that when we leave this place and enter back into the world, that we can keep pushing. We can keep telling stories that matter. We can keep televising the revolution and bringing light and life to dark places. And when it gets really hard, may we remember tonight and remember that we descend from a people who refused to die. So tonight we bless this food that it might strengthen, nourish, and inspire our very souls and being. In the name of the one who gives us hope in hopeless moments, who gives light to dark places, who encourages us to love in the face of hate, and who gives us courage to be all that he has created us to be. In the name of this God, this Mother, Father God, we pray. And together we all said, amen.
As you dine, please continue to enjoy tonight's musical guest, Prince A. Martin III and the Dream Band. NABJ, how about a solid round of applause for Prince A. Martin III and the Doreen Band. Now, welcome back to the stage tonight's hosts, DeMarco Morgan and Terry J. Vaughn.
Hello, y'all. Enjoying your food? Yeah, yummy.
You look like it.
Okay. Let's give it up one more time for Prince A. Martin III and the Dream Band. Tonight's next honoree is A-Town, born and raised.
ATL showed it.
Yes. This Georgia Peach took her talents to the real HU, Hampton University.
Uh-oh, don't start
I know.
nothing.
They wrote it. I didn't write that. And began to hone her skills and blossom into a young star.
Or some folks rolling their eyes in here, you know it. She led her school's student-run television station, interned behind world-renowned journalists at WSB here in Atlanta, and traveled the world learning about different cultures and investigating how skin tone is perceived across the country and abroad.
Now she's on a full ride at one of the best journalism programs in the nation at Northwestern University, gaining the respect of her classmates, professors, and even media executives. If you don't know her name yet, get ready to hear it everywhere. This year's Student Journalist of the Year, Morgan Norris.
Nice.
My nose for news was a nose for theater. I was a theater kid. My mother said, "Why don't you try journalism?" And I was like, I don't know if I like to write that much. She said, "No, it's way more than that."
Thousands of people are.
I can film, I can edit, and I can talk. Oh, watch out.
But their phones.
Morgan Norris is one of the most thoughtful, compassionate, and hardworking human beings you will ever meet. She is the consummate storyteller. She knows how to make people feel comfortable and to get them talking.
It all started at Hampton, covering floods in Norfolk. Then I snowballed into going all the way overseas to do a story about whitening products.
Why do South Koreans want whiter skin? See at home.
Going into Northwestern Medill, I was able to cover senior housing in Chinatown, Chicago. I'm always telling these long-form stories about communities that are excluded or misunderstood or need more context.
She has that work ethic, the curiosity that one needs to really make this business better. She's just a light in the room. She's influential, she's innovative, and she's inspirational.
She is a journalist whose name you will know. So impressed and proud of her.
2026 NABJ Student Journalist of the Year, Morgan Olivia Norris.
Let me get the speech out, honey. I have to put it in my dress pocket. Okay, let me see. Let me unfold it. Okay. All glory to God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Wherever I am, God is meeting me there, and He is meeting me here right now. Hi, everyone. Okay. So I do tend to stammer when I speak. I pray, or when I get nervous, I pray I do not do so. I must start by saying that as a Georgia Peach, born and raised here in Atlanta, okay, honey, thank you to the National Association of Black Journalists for making me your 2026 Student Journalist of the Year. Today, okay, applause. Thank you so much. Okay. Today, I want to talk to you about obedience. Every accomplished Black journalist in this room is being obedient to a purpose. And on behalf of all of the student journalists, despite your possible doubts, I want to tell you that we know the soapbox very, very well, okay? Life won't be as swell. You're going to go through some things. In this country and economy, we're still here because we're being obedient to our calling, to something. For me, that something is God. My mom always says, God works through people, and the first was her. As you've already heard, she told me to major in journalism, and yes, I take videos of all my classmates in high school every day, but I didn't really get it at the time, but I said, okay, I'll be obedient, and if I am, I'm going to the top school for it, and that's Hampton University. Okay, as we said, the real HU. All right, I know Howard's in the building, love y'all, okay? God then worked through a senior at our newscast, WHOV-TV, to send me the Emma Bowen Foundation application. I didn't think I was gonna get it, I really didn't, but I was obedient to that senior, and that led to 3 years at Fox 5 Atlanta. It's amazing 3 years. Then a professor told me to apply to an Inside Climate News Fellowship, and I was like, science? Okay, Professor Waltz, I'll just do it. And that ended up being my first documentary, Norfolk Underwater Lost Time. Then she told me to apply to the Pulitzer Center. I mean, global stories were never an ambition of mine, but I was obedient, and I ended up in South Korea. God also, of course, works through me, first and foremost, right? Weeks before graduation, I lost all of my hair to alopecia. I hid for a while, but one day, contrary to what I wanted to happen, I grabbed my razor and the coconut oil and started just shaving off the rest. What is wrong with me? What am I doing? I FaceTimed Aziza Schuler at CBS New York, another journalist with alopecia. We cried together on the phone, and I obeyed the spirit within me and walked out at my HBCU bald, honey. Okay? All right. And guys, I was also anti-masters. I applied as a Plan B, so imagine my surprise when I got 2 full rides to NYU and Northwestern. I felt God commanding me to go get my master's in Chicago, and I did that at Medill, and now I'm done, 22 years of school, I'm 22 years old, and God has worked through Akili Franklin at Hearst Television. She always said, since 2022, that I'd be with Hearst, and I said, okay, maybe, we'll see, okay, when I talk to recruiters and contractual agreements and things like that, but I must admit, I do feel the call to continue in local journalism, and at Hearst, I will be a reporter by this October. So I say all this to say, everyone in this room, thank you for being obedient to the call that God has on your life. Layoffs, unknown future, but you're still here because you're obedient. And for those who know that they should switch industries, do so. Ask what move God wants you to make, and if it's to go, go. I am not here because I feel like it. I'm obedient. And one thing about my God, he does exceedingly and abundantly more than I could ever ask or imagine. That he's blessed me so much. The incomparable Rashida Jones nominated me for this award. Thank you, Rashida, who I can call my mentor now. Thank you, NABJ. You will forever be in my credits when they roll. With great gratitude, Morgan Norris. Hi, Mommy.
Yes. Oh my God.
Wow.
I know, now I'm totally off script. I'm sorry.
I know,
hey,
it's all
her,
good.
and I'm just so thankful for her. God bless you, honey.
Yeah, we love you.
Such a great example of how we should live our lives, being obedient.
And I just told her, whatever God has for you, she's
Yeah.
proof that it's for you, and no one can keep you from getting it. Keep doing your thing there. Another round of applause for Morgan Norris, everybody. All right, the next awards of the night are for those working in the heart of our industry.
It's those smaller towns where many got their starts. But nothing is small about the stories being told in those corners of our community.
Nothing at all. And here are the winners in the small to medium markets in radio, newspaper, and TV.
Here are your 2026 NABJ Salute to Excellence Award winners for Radio. Market 16 and below. Feature. Metcalf Park seniors start a carpool to shop for groceries after Pick and Save leaves neighborhood. Taryn Powell, 89.7 FM, WUWM, Milwaukee's NPR, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. News, series, The Audacity to Not Give Up. Andrea Y. Henderson, Marissa Ann Lewis Thompson, St. Louis Public Radio, KWMU, St. Louis, Missouri. Public Affairs, segment, HBCU 101, The Big Recount, Leonida Inge, Cole Del Charco, WUNC, North Carolina Public Radio, Chapel Hill, North Carolina.
HBCU 101, The Big Recount, captures how students 25 years ago at Florida A&M University covered one of the most memorable and messy presidential elections in U.S. history, Bush v. Gore.
Here are your 2026 NABJ Salute to Excellence Award winners for Newspaper. Newsroom staff of 50 and below. Feature. Series. Actual Innocence, A Fight for Justice, 48 years in the making. Jesse Christopher Smith, Nathan J. Fish, Todd Pendleton. The Oklahoman, part of the USA Today Network, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Feature, single story. Nobody's ever going to be held accountable. Families of unsolved murder victims fight to maintain hope. Edgar Mendez, Milwaukee Neighborhood News Service, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Investigative. The housing barrier. Gun violence survivors struggle to find accessible housing. Shannon Chafers. New York Amsterdam News, New York, New York. News. Series. Tax breaks propped up a troubled Memphis apartment complex, and tenants paid the price. Michael Finch II. MLK 50, Justice Through Journalism, Memphis, Tennessee. News, single story. They were sleeping, driving, walking in Memphis. Then Trump's police task force came. Wendy C. Thomas, Catherine Burgess, MLK 50, Justice Through Journalism, ProPublica, Memphis, Tennessee. Sports. SWAC coaches brace for top players hitting transfer portal for FBS riches. Terrence Harris, staff of the Houston Defender Network, Houston, Texas.
It's the end of November, the end of the college football season, and a time of the year SWAC coaches brace for. Roster shakeups have become a thing as their top players enter the transfer portal seeking NIL and revenue-sharing riches from FBS programs.
Newsroom staff 51 to 100. Commentary essay. Collection of columns by Amelia Robinson. Amelia Robinson, Columbus Dispatch, Columbus, Ohio. Feature, single story. Rodeo comes to town. John Michael Banks, Dominic Williams, The Kansas City Star, Kansas City, Missouri. Investigative. Lawless. Christine Phillips, Michael McEldowney, Indianapolis Star, Indianapolis, Indiana. Here are your 2026 NABJ Salute to Excellence Award winners for Television. Market 16 and below. Documentary. What Remains. Jennifer Sanders, Jayla Washington, Lainey Valian, Kelly Wiley, Ashley Parks, Eric Leffenfeld, KXAN News, Austin, Texas.
But I'm glad to see my mom's picture up there. If it was not for her, the Victor Grill would not exist.
Feature, long form. Celia's Story, a 175-year road to innocence. Melanie Johnson, KMOV TV, Gray Television, Maryland Heights, Missouri. Feature, short form. The Jessica Matthews Story. Keitha Nelson Williams. Nick Maron. Obin Everett. First Coast News. WTLV WJXX. Jacksonville, Florida. General Assignment News, long form. Damage Control. Sierra Putman. Ryan Thedwall. Susan Batt. WTHR TV. Indianapolis, Indiana. Tegna. Tysons, Virginia.
A disease that kills more than 13,000 annually. Black women, like Irene, are the most likely to die.
Everybody's gonna die, but it's the suffering before you die. It's the burden that's put on your family.
General Assignment News, short form. Consequences of Parole. Ashley King, Fox 16, Little Rock, Arkansas. International. After Hurricane Melissa, Jamaica faces a long road to recovery. Aaron Mabin, WPLG TV, Local 10 News, Miami, Florida. Public Affairs, Interview Discussion. Jane Kennedy, The Highs and Lows of a Trailblazer with Tim Lampley. Tim Lampley, Andy Ruzicka, Charlotte Otley, Ken Gurney, Joe Brown. STL TV, St. Louis, Missouri.
In the 1970s and 80s, Jane Kennedy was the it girl, a black Barbie.
Public Affairs Program. Heartbeat Heroines. Black Women Keeping Music City Alive. Jerry Shannon. WSMV 4. Nashville, Tennessee.
WSMV4 is celebrating the contributions of Black women in Music City as they navigate how to be successful in their industries while dealing with health disparities.
Are less likely to be listened to when they present with complaints.
And taking care of others.
Okay. It's a little bit of a homecoming for our next awardee as well.
Yes.
Her love for storytelling was molded here in Atlanta. A Clark Atlanta alum.
Clark.
Yes. Now a longtime anchor and reporter and a leading voice in each community she touches.
So what sets her apart? If you've been around long enough, you know that she is a true steward of NABJ. She's the founding president of Sacramento's inaugural NABJ chapter, and she's also contributed to the organization's growth on the national scale. Sacramento, you in the house? I see. Yeah, I hear you. And whenever her name is called, she answers, ready and willing to mentor the next generation of journalists.
Tonight, we honor Brandy Cummings as this year's Journalist of Distinction.
Brandy.
It wasn't until high school that I knew it was possible to be a journalist, to be on television, and to tell stories. Once you realize just how impactful you can be, I don't think it ever leaves you. And I think that's really what the hook was for me.
I first got to know Brandy 20 years ago. We were fresh out of college, starting our first jobs. Brandy is in the trenches. She cares about the stories. She cares about getting things right. And she's always been that way. It's been about the work. And that is why she's such a great journalist.
Thank you for joining us on this Tuesday morning. I'm Mike Cherry.
And I'm Brandy Cummings. I am morning anchor at KCRA, which is the #1 station in Sacramento. It has been an incredible ride. For me, it's really about making sure that whatever we're doing, there's a community focus. What is the viewer benefit for everything that we're doing?
Officials have announced its first flu-related death.
Brandy is a wartime general. He's somebody who's going to act and react quickly and strategically. The amount of breaking news that we cover on the morning show, she is the perfect general to be next to. She's trying to push our field forward.
One of the great things about NABJ is that it's an organization that at some point you go and you give back. You see her with all of the things she's doing in Sacramento as the president of the chapter. She is now pouring back into an organization that has given so much to her.
NABJ has changed the trajectory of my career. And that really is my mission now, to make sure that I am also creating NABJ lifers, people who are forever committed to the organization. There's so much more still to go. You know, as they say in television, stay tuned.
2026 NABJ Journalist of Distinction, Brandy S. Cummings.
First tonight, I want to thank the true and living God. He blesses me so much more than I deserve. I want to thank my family for your unwavering support and the sacrifices you make so that I can serve others. And they're all here tonight, my husband, my 2 children, and my mom. A little bit about my mom. She has 3 college degrees. She's the daughter of a woman who cleaned wealthy people's houses while raising 9 children. My daddy, the first man I ever loved, transitioned last year. He grew up as a sharecropper with only a middle school education. I stand here tonight as a woman born and raised in Augusta, Georgia, proud of Augusta, Georgia. I'm now living in California, anchoring morning news at the #1 television station in her market and leading the Sacramento chapter of NABJ, and this weekend officially being appointed the NABJ Region 4 Deputy Director. I am my ancestors' wildest dreams. I got into journalism because I believe in the power of storytelling. Our communities deserve to be seen, heard, and respected. And who tells those stories matters just as much as the stories themselves. Tonight, I thank NABJ for seeing me, for celebrating my work and the sacrifices that go along with it. But I can't and I don't do this work alone. Thank you to every manager who said yes, because you know sometimes you only need one. To my colleagues, especially the producers, editors, photographers, and mentors who've challenged me, supported me, and helped to shape my career, I thank you. To the Black women who have paved the way for people just like me, I thank you. I thank you for being examples of excellence in action. I even thank the coworkers I don't like, because they make me sharper. They teach me lessons in patience and restraint. They remind me that not everything deserves my attention or my response. But I leave you tonight with this. To the reporter or anchor wondering if you belong, wondering if you're making a difference while facing racism, sexism, and all the other isms that come along in and out of the newsroom, I see you. To the leader doing God's work for our people, giving everything to help others, and wondering where the strong go when they're tired, overworked, hurt, angry, scared, or worried, I see you. To the journalists trying to balance how the Black community sees you, how your colleagues treat you, and how your family and what your family needs from you, I see you. I am you. But tonight I say keep going. Let's continue to show up with intention over and over and over again. Let's do this work with heart, even when no one's watching. And let's not forget to make room for someone else at the table. And sometimes get the hammer and the nails, and build our own table if we have to. Tonight, once again, NABJ, I thank you for this incredible, incredible honor.
Oh, thank you, Miss Brandy.
Again, let the haters be a part of your story. I love
Yes.
that they are. All right, one more time. Let's hear it for this year's Journalist of Distinction, Brandy Cummins, everybody. Now, journalism is so much more than finding the right words to tell a story. It's also about capturing moments in real time while displaying authenticity.
I just want to just sidebar real quick. Your voice is amazing. Like journalists, like on air, like you guys have the most incredible
Can I take
voices.
you everywhere with
I just wanted to say that. He was just singing in my ear and I was just like, wow, that's awesome. Okay,
Thank you.
on with the program. And in this digital age, this next group of winners have found a way to adapt and meet their audience where they are. Here are the winners in the digital media, photojournalism, and podcast category.
Here are your 2026 NABJ Salute to Excellence Award winners for Professional, Digital Media, Business, Deleting DEI, Ellis Samani, Sasiga Mukulu, ProPublica, New York, New York. Commentary, Weblog, Are We Fascist Yet? Michael Harriet, Janetta Adams, Contraband Camp, Marshallville, Georgia. Interactive feature, Plantations to Pollution, Black Communities, Legacy Pollution, and the Path Forward. Tasha Durrett, Nehemiah Bester, Jordy Yeager, Cornell Watson, the Southern Environmental Law Center, Charlottesville, Virginia. Interactive news, The Vaccine Divide, staff of NBC News, New York, New York. Stanford University researchers, Stanford, California.
The vaccination rates in St. Louis City are especially low, but in a 6-month analysis of counties nationwide, NBC News discovered that since 2019, 77% of American counties have seen vaccination rates decline.
International reporting, single story feature. How the U.S. automotive industry fuels lead poisoning in Nigeria. Taylor Turner, Will Fitzgibbon, Ashley Joplin, staff of The Examination, New York, New York. International reporting, single story news. The Poisonous Lead Trade, Will Fitzgibbon, Peter S. Goodman, Samuel Granados, staff of The Examination and the New York Times, New York, New York. Online project, feature. Race, Guns, Profit. The pain of gun violence spans American political, cultural, and geographic divides. Young Black people suffer the most, facing an urgent public health crisis. Fred Clayson Kelly, Renuka Ryasam, Chasita Giles, Daniel Chang, KFF Health News, Washington, D.C. Online project, News. There are 2 winners. Mississippi's Deadly Prisons, Deja Henry, Mina Corpus, Jerry Mitchell, Grant McLaughlin, Caleb Badillion. The Marshall Project, Jackson. Mississippi Today, The Mississippi Link, Clarion Ledger, Hattiesburg American, Jackson, Mississippi. 20 years later, Hurricane Katrina, Luke Burke, L. Kasimu Harris, Tanya Hoffler Moore, Kirsten West Savali, Allison McGevna, staff of I1 Digital, News 1, New York, New York.
On the heels of that storm, though, Katrina, we looked around to what was happening in the city. It was the beginning of gentrification.
If we lose the city, we lose most of our influence on the whole world.
That's right. Yeah, we're not going to lose either, because we're going to keep it rocking.
Single story feature. With I-375 redesign, Detroiters could have a chance to right past community wrongs. Olivia Lewis, Valorian Waller, Bridge Detroit, Detroit, Michigan, in partnership with the U.S. at 250 Fellowship from New America.
2 iconic Black neighborhoods in Detroit were paved over for a freeway.
70 years later, Detroit has a second chance to redevelop the area, this time with community in mind.
Single story, news. There are 2 winners. Ticking time bomb. A pregnant mother kept getting sicker. She died after she couldn't get an abortion in Texas. Kavitha Sarana, Lizzie Presser, ProPublica, New York, New York. Virginia's probe into public universities' displacement of black neighborhoods. Brandy Kellum, Wayne Pellenberg, Kayla Usen, Virginia Mercury, Richmond, Virginia. Sports. Kangol, denim jackets, and dreams. Inside Jackson State's historic 1975 NFL draft class. Wilton Jackson, ESPN and Scape, Washington, D.C. Here are your 2026 NABJ Salute to Excellence Award winners for photojournalism, videography, Cape Verde's World Cup dream and the Boston area diaspora that lived it, Randy Vasquez, The Boston Globe, Boston, Massachusetts. Photography, single image. Curls, coils, and confidence steal the fashion show. Aaron Clark, The Boston Globe, Boston, Massachusetts. Photography, multiple images. Photo essay, Black Rodeo. David Mialetti, The Philadelphia Inquirer, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Here are your 2026 NABJ Salute to Excellence Award winners for podcast. Arts and culture. There are 2 winners. We Are North Nashville. Andrea Tudhope, M. Simone Boyd. We Are North Nashville. Nashville, Tennessee.
There was something about those North Nashville summers, something that felt like coming home.
It felt, spiritual. A friend of mine, he called them Black Summers, something that those elders knew we needed.
Colorado Matters, the work of Chandra Thomas Whitfield. Chandra Thomas Whitfield, Carl Bielek. Colorado Matters Team. Colorado Public Radio, KCFR, Denver, Colorado. Commentary and discussion. The Debt, What Tennessee Owes Its HBCU. Emily Steiner, Camelia Burris. Nashville Public Radio, 90.3 WPLN News. The Tennessee Lookout, Nashville, Tennessee.
We owe you some money that was promised to you based on what our Constitution says. And we've got to make that right. We've got to make you whole. This is about a debt that the state owes, and states have to pay their debts.
Lifestyle. Bury Me Whole. Hannah Baba. Christina Loring. James Rollins. Layla Day. The Stoop Podcast from Radiotopia, PRX. San Francisco, California. Limited Series. Heat List. James Edwards, Matt Stroud, Arisa Apantaku, Philippa Gearing, Krish Dineshkumar, Alex Portfelix, Wondery, Culver City, California. Vespucci, Los Angeles, California.
All right, congratulations again. All right, we all strive to do our best when it comes to reaching our communities, but tonight, NABJ highlights one news organization that has gone above and beyond to connect with its audience.
From texting important resources right to the phones of Detroit residents, to training and even paying people to become active members in local politics, this newsroom puts service at the center of all they do, filling the gap and responding to the needs of those around them.
This year's Best Practices Award goes to Outlier Media. And here to accept the award is Outlier Media Editor-in-Chief Aaron Perry. Yes, we can clap. And Executive Director Orlando Bailey.
Yeah.
All right, what an honor it is to receive this award on behalf of the team at Outlier Media. It's two of us standing here, but the work doesn't happen without the entire team pulling their weight, and I just want to make sure that we honor them. Thank you to NABJ. Outlier is a small nonprofit newsroom in Detroit seeking to be an indispensable utility for communities with the highest and most pressing information needs. And that looks like holding power to account when they do harm to residents who call our great city home. It looks like asking hard questions, even if they invite retaliation. We can show you our legal bills. They are hiding in the mud this year. It looks like telling the truth, even when the truth is incendiary, to quote one of my favorite shows, The Morning Show. The head of state has made journalism public enemy number one, routinely attacking journalists of color and women in an effort to undermine the credibility of the Fourth Estate. But journalism does not retreat because power is threatened by that truth. We get louder, we get sharper, and we get better. And as we force America to live up to its promise of democracy, our charge, our best practice, and our obligation is to report and to remember. Remember our history. Remember that we are human. Remember that we are capable of building the country we all want to live in. And remember that we have the right and the responsibility to tell its full story without apology. Aaron.
That's right. Felicia Henderson of the Maynard Institute once said, "With the exception of the Black press, it is unprecedented in Detroit media landscape to see a Black man and a Black woman helming the top two positions at a news outlet. Our work at Outlier is proof that who leads shapes who is seen, heard, and served." Sarah Alvarez founded Outlier a decade ago, and the first executive director of Outlier, Candace Fortman, helped to build its foundation. We are proud to carry forward that legacy with journalism rooted in community and responsive to what Detroiters tell us they need. Every year, we partner with university researchers to survey Detroiters about their greatest challenges and concerns. And then we use those findings to help shape our reporting. We demand the same accountability of ourselves that we demand of institutions and other people who are proximate to power. We believe that journalism is reciprocal, not extractive. That means investigating slumlords, from those who profit from unsafe housing. It means collaborating with our peers instead of competing with them. And it means showing up for our community before we need a quote. We are a small newsroom, but we punch well above our weight because that is what Detroiters deserve. And now we'll leave you with two imperatives. To funders, fund journalists, not just projects and products, but people. Invest in things like fellowships, paid reporting positions, professional development, and student loan debt relief. Communities deserve newsrooms staffed by journalists who can afford to stay in the profession. And to leaders, pay your interns. Pay your interns in dollars and cents, not in the promise of exposure. A career in journalism cannot be sustainable if its entry point is not. The next generation of reporters and editors and photojournalists shouldn't have to subsidize our industry with unpaid labor. Paying our future colleagues is the best investment that we can make. Thank you, NABJ. Thank you to our team in Detroit, our collaborators across Detroit, and most importantly, the Detroiters who trust us with their stories. Thank you.
2026 NABJ Thumbs Down Award. Each year at its annual convention, NABJ presents the Thumbs Down Award to an individual or organization whose actions, reporting, or institutional practices have significantly undermined fair, accurate, and inclusive journalism about Black communities, or have otherwise acted in ways fundamentally at odds with NABJ's mission and values. The award recognizes conduct that harms Black journalists, weakens newsroom equity or editorial independence, reinforces damaging portrayals of Black people, or compromises the public service mission of journalism. This year, we have chosen to highlight 5 recipients to reflect the breadth of harmful actions against Black journalists and across our profession. Brendan Carr, Chair of the Federal Communications Commission. Since assuming leadership of the FCC, Carr has repeatedly used the agency's regulatory authority in ways that have raised serious concerns about press freedom and editorial independence. His actions have targeted news organizations through licensing scrutiny, while amplifying efforts to pressure media and communications companies to dismantle diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. Together, these actions have contributed to a chilling environment for independent journalism and threaten the diversity of voices essential to serving the public interest. CBS. Under its current leadership, CBS eliminated its race and culture unit and implemented newsroom workforce reductions that disproportionately affected journalists of color. The company has also faced sustained internal disputes over editorial independence and newsroom decision-making. Taken together, these actions have diminished specialized coverage of underrepresented communities and raise significant concerns about the organization's commitment to diverse journalism, editorial integrity, and public trust. DeJuan McCoy, owner, president, and CEO, Circle City Broadcasting, parent company of Wish TV. McCoy's leadership has been the subject of multiple allegations regarding the treatment of Black journalists, raising serious concerns about workplace equity, newsroom culture, and professional accountability. These reported practices are inconsistent with the standards of fairness, inclusion, and respect that NABJ has long championed throughout the journalism profession. Stephen A. Smith, sports analyst and political commentator. Smith has established a recurring public pattern of disparaging commentary directed at prominent Black women across politics, sports, and media. Such commentary reinforces harmful narratives, undermines the fair and respectful representation of Black women in public discourse, and stands in direct conflict with NABJ's long-standing commitment to accurate, responsible, and inclusive portrayals of Black communities. The Washington Post. The Washington Post implemented layoffs and newsroom restructuring that disproportionately affected Black and other journalists of color, including reporters covering race, identity, extremism, protest movements, and other essential public interest beats. The reductions also weakened reporting capacity across opinion, international, local, and sports coverage. These decisions diminished newsroom diversity and subject matter expertise at a moment when robust, inclusive journalism is critical to public accountability and democratic understanding.
I told Terry, I said, well, damn.
I was like, yeah, let's say it.
Terry in the back like,
let's talk about it.
Wow.
Yes, I love y'all here, man. I'm coming back. Y'all tell the truth. I like it.
Don't you like it? NABJ say we ride it Don. We ride it Don. I love that.
Let's go. Okay.
Okay.
I'm there.
We got to pull it together now. But that was good.
That was amazing.
And some surprises or not surprises. Wow. All right, let's bring it in, everybody. Okay. Let's bring it in. It is never easy saying goodbye, and I know something about this all too well. And since we last came together, we laid to rest many who shaped this organization and this industry.
Colleagues are more like family in this business. Each loss can seem harder than the last. So tonight, we honor the memories of those who have meant so much to us.
So join us as we remember the members of our NABJ family who are no longer with us.
As I lay me down, heaven hear me now. I'm lost without a cause. After giving it my all, winter storms have come and darkened my sun. After all that I've been through, who on earth can I turn to? I look to you. I look to you. After all my strength is gone, in you I can be strong. I look to you. I look to you, I look to you. After all my strength is gone, in you I can be strong. I look to you. About to lose my breath, there's no more fighting left, sinking to rise no more, searching for that open door. And every road that I've taken led to my regret, and I don't know if I'm gonna make it. Nothing to do but lift my head. I look to you. I look to you. Yeah. And when all my strength is gone, and you I can be strong, I look to you. I look to you. Oh yeah. And when melodies are gone, and you I hear a song, I look to you. My levees are broken. Oh Lord, walls have come coming down on me. All the rain is falling. The rain is falling. Defeat is calling. Set me free. Set me free. Take me far away from the battle. I need you. Shine on me. I look to you. I look to you. After all my strength is gone, in you I can be strong. I look to you. I look to you. Yeah. And when melodies are gone, and you I hear a song, I look to you. Yeah. I look to you. Ooh, I look to you.
And amen. The next journalist we are about to celebrate never wanted to be a journalist in the first place. But when he finally found his way into the field, he took off, creating his own online magazine for the Spanish-speaking community.
He is such an inspiration. Only problem was his home country of Cuba, where he found his love for journalism, didn't agree with the truths that he uncovered in his own backyard. Truths about the racism Black people faced in the country, racism Cuban leaders say had been solved, and so they tried to silence him. They also arrested him and they lied about him and eventually exiled him from the country.
But at no point did this next recipient steer clear of standing up for what is right. And his commitment to exposing injustices happening in marginalized communities never wavered. That's why tonight we are proud to award the 2026 NABJ Percy Caboza Foreign Journalist of the Year to Abraham Jimenez Inoa.
This one doesn't have a video, so we'll...
Sí, no, yo tengo.
Tengo preparado un discurso, pero bueno, quisiera improvisar un momentico, ¿no? Justamente porque, bueno, he visto que todo el mundo habla de su familia y me he acordado de ella. De la mía, quiero decir.
I have a speech prepared, but I'd like to improvise for a few minutes because I've seen everybody else is talking very personally about their friends and family.
Ya, justamente hace 4 años y medio recibí una llamada del gobierno de Cuba.
It's been 4 years since I got a call from the Cuban government.
Y me propusieron un negocio.
And they gave me a proposition.
Me iba a la cárcel o me tenía que ir al exilio.
I could either go to jail or I could leave my home country.
Evidentemente escogí el exilio y por eso es que estoy aquí hoy.
I took the latter choice and that's why I'm here today.
Y por eso es que no está ningún familiar mío aquí ni ninguno seres queridos míos.
And that's why none of my family or loved ones are here with me today.
Por la única razón de hacer periodismo y contar la realidad de mi país.
And the only reason that they're not here is because I chose to be a journalist and to tell the truth.
Pero cuando todo se oscurecía, después de 4 años y medio que llevo viviendo en Barcelona, España.
But after all of this happened, and I've spent the last 4.5 years in Barcelona, Spain.
Me pasó una cosa hermosa que he comprobado estos días aquí en Atlanta.
Something amazing happened. I got to spend the last few days here with all of you in Atlanta.
Estos 4 años y medio me han servido para redescubrirme como negro.
These last 4 years in exile have reawakened my blackness within me.
Viviendo a un océano de distancia de mi familia, de mis raíces, de mi tierra, mi piel ha sido lo que me ha sostenido.
Being away from my family, my homeland, has reawakened my connection to my culture, my history, and my race.
Y estos días aquí ha sido muy bonito porque llevo 4 años viviendo entre europeos y seguramente algunos de ustedes me habrá visto mirándolos, cómo caminan, cómo se visten, cómo se saludan. Point, ¿no? Pound. Y yo lo imito, ¿no? Y todo eso me lo llevaré conmigo.
And spending the last few days here watching you, looking how you walk, how you act, how you pound each other, how you hug each other and love each other has been something really special.
En la fiesta de él por la noche lo hacía y la gente pensaba que yo estaba loco.
And people would see me and see me so happy and maybe they thought I was a little crazy.
Bueno, que han sido días fascinantes. Ya es hora de leer el discurso.
And now I'll get to the speech.
Recibo este galardón en nombre de mi piel, de mi historia y del país que llevo dentro.
Good evening. I accept this award on behalf of my skin, my country, my history, all of which I carry within me.
Vengo de una isla de Cuba, una isla donde el periodismo independiente se paga con prisión o el exilio. Como hombre negro, sé bien lo que significa que el poder pretenda decidir sobre tu cuerpo, tu espacio y tu voz. El exilio nos desplaza, pero no nos desarraiga.
I come from Cuba, an island where independent journalism is paid for with prison or exile. As a black man, I know all too well what it means when power attempts to control your body, your space, and your voice. Exile displaces us, but it cannot uproot us.
Percy Cubosa encaró el apartheid con la verdad. Hoy recojo su testigo entendiendo que la libertad de prensa y la causa negra son la misma trinchera, la negativa rotunda a ser silenciados.
Percy Cubosa confronted apartheid with the truth. Today I pick up his torch, understanding that freedom of the press and the black struggle occupy and share the exact same quality, the absolute refusal to be silenced.
A la dictadura cubana les recuerdo que la rebeldía negra corre por nuestras venas, de la esclavitud al exilio. Mi gente siempre ha sabido romper las cadenas. Nos desterraron, pero no nos callaron.
To the Cuban dictatorship, I remind you that black rebellion runs deep in our veins. From slavery to exile, my people have always known how to break chains. You cast us out, but you do not shut us up.
Dedico este premio a los colegas míos que resisten en la isla, porque seguiremos escribiendo con orgullo por Cuba, por la verdad, por la dignidad insobornable de nuestra negritud. Muchas gracias.
I dedicate this to my colleagues resisting on the island. We will keep writing with pride for Cuba, for the truth, for the unyielding dignity of our blackness. Thank you very much.
And now, our winners in the categories of public relations, marketing, and magazines.
Here are your 2026 NABJ Salute to Excellence Award winners for PR and Marketing Campaigns, Business Services, A Legacy in Motion, R&B great Karen White's Gale and the Storm streaming campaign, Kim Benton, Premier Multimedia Group, LLC, Germantown, Maryland. Cause-related business, services. African Development Bank Group launches Innova for youth entrepreneurs. Alfonso Van Marsh, staff of African Development Bank Group, Abidjan, Côte d'Ivoire. Here is your 2026 NABJ Salute to Excellence Award winner for Magazine, Under 1 Million. International. Leaving Khartoum. Ishmael Kush Kush. The New York Review of Books. New York, New York.
The essay Leaving Khartoum tells the story of how I, journalist Ismail Kush Kush, along with 31 residents of the Slavos apartment building, managed to survive the early days of fighting in Sudan.
Yes. 4 decades. Our next award winner spent the last 40 years using his pen as his superpower, shifting narratives and elevating black voices.
That's a long time. This Pulitzer Prize winner and New York Times leader challenged people's thoughts on race, politics, and society, and helped guide uncomfortable conversations that otherwise would not have been had, especially here in the Deep South. His writings, so powerful and so important to our lived experiences, they became required learning for students at colleges across the country and abroad.
This year's Chuck Stone Lifetime Achievement Award goes to Brent Staples, a voice for social change.
While getting a PhD in psychology in the early 1980s, Brent Staples discovered he had more passion for journalism. And when presented with a chance to profile some leaders of the American Nazi movement, he grabbed it.
That story made my career. Suddenly I was a name. I was recruited to the Times as an editor of the Times Book Review in the spring of 1985. And after that, I became an assistant metropolitan editor. While I was editing stories, I began to write criticisms of editorials. And they moved me. And I became an editorial writer. And I stayed there for 35 years. My life's work was to bring history to bear, to explain the sort of omnipresence of slavery in American life, down through the ages.
What Brent does is part of a larger tradition of Black American journalism, shining a light on the uglier parts of the American experience, especially as it relates to racism and oppression and inequality.
I received the Pulitzer Prize in 2019 for talking about racism with extraordinary moral clarity. I felt vindicated essentially for writing the story of my family and my people.
There's really no one quite like him, as he has been doing the hard work in this industry and in this country for a long time. And it's exactly the kind of journalism and journalists that we should be recognizing. It makes you want to be brave too.
It was mainly about somehow these people got the notion that I retired or something. And people haven't heard the last of me yet. I can promise you that.
2026 NABJ Chuck Stone Lifetime Achievement Award recipient, Brent Staples.
Evening, y'all. It is quite a responsibility to receive an award named for the first NABJ president, Chuck Stone, and one of the founders of NABJ. To understand the enormity of what Chuck accomplished, you have to understand what Philadelphia was like when Chuck became a columnist for the Daily News there in 1972, the first Black columnist. A few years before he arrived, a few friends and I were driving through downtown Philadelphia on Christmas, looking at Christmas decorations, and Lit Brothers department store, Strawbridge and Clothiers. It was one of the things you did in Philadelphia at Christmas. You sort of drove down looking at decorations. The police pulled us over for no other reason than we were Black. And they were pretty vociferous. They pulled the seats out of the car and put them on the sidewalk. They emptied out the trunk of the car. And when they could find no contraband, they turned to us and said, these Black people, get out of Center City. You don't belong here. It was their sort of basic, fundamental apartheid statement of how they ran a significant American city. When Chuck came there in 1972, he interposed himself between the police department and the Black community as a whole. He defended people against a kind of routine police abuse and maltreatment. It got to be to a point where people who had warrants for their arrests in the city, Black people, they would surrender to Chuck rather than surrender directly to the police department, because they felt that they had a better chance of surviving if he took them in. I think of that experience. I grew up in the area, but I think of that experience as, as the quintessential apartheid experience. You don't belong here. Now, in the recent years, I thought a lot about Chuck since I was notified of this award. And one of the things that happened to Chuck when he wrote these column after column after column, he was not timid, he was direct about calling racism by its rightful name. And some of his colleagues, white colleagues in journalism, said, accused Chuck of not being an objective journalist, right? And Chuck was operating under the point of view that racism was a fact of American life. He was operating, and oftentimes traditional media treats racism as a figment of the black imagination. But Chuck was doing something different. In recent years, Chuck's indictment of traditional media in America, and he tied fire to Ben Bradley at the Washington Post and other traditional institutions that perpetuated a kind of rhetoric, easy listening racist rhetoric that supported the process of condemning black people to second-class citizenship. In recent years, Chuck has been vindicated. If you notice, in the last 5 years or so, there are a lot of newspapers in America that apologize for histories of racist coverage. That began around 2020, and that was directly vindicated what Chuck had to say in 1970 or so. So Chuck was ahead of his time. He was brave. He took the consequences. He called it like he saw them, and he lent his voice to a voiceless people. Now, in recent years, since the coming of the 47th president, we are facing an even more insidious kind of institutional racism than Chuck faced. As you notice, this presidency has established a practice of setting about to actually resegregate the government of the United States. Ejecting leaders, black leaders from military posts, pointing out black public servants, impugning their abilities and pushing them aside. They've developed an immigration policy that's, frankly, to me, reminiscent of South African apartheid, and continue to denigrate people who speak out against that. I regret to have to say that traditional media in the United States has not met this challenge. Has not met this challenge. One of my colleagues, Jamel Bowie, recently wrote a column about the South African Elon Musk. And he went chapter and verse through all his easy listening eugenics and his racist policies. And Jamel asked the question, he said, why are public institutions, including journalists, treating this as somehow a side issue? Don't they understand this is the central point of all his policies, of his whole program? It is essentially an apartheid segregationist policy. Now, I would say that if Jamel were here, I would say, what's the answer to that is unfortunate. The answer is partly that many people in traditional journalism today believe some of the racist myths that are being spouted. So some of the people you work with believe that stuff. I've worked with people who believe that stuff. And so what this essentially shows is, and wherever I go, I'm often told not to do this, but wherever I go, I bring up the name Derek Bell. The legal scholar Derek Bell, who fought segregation in the South, told us in the mid-1970s, and he upset lots of people by saying the following. He said, racism is an integral structure, a permanent structure in American life. The battle against it will never be won, he said. Yet, as Black people, our role is not to give up. It is to persevere and fight that struggle and live full lives in spite of it. And that, I have to tell you, if I got to say one thing tonight, it's a legacy that Chuck left behind, a legacy that Derek left behind, and I, for one, am up for the fight. Thank you.
Yes.
All right, Terry, having anchored here in Atlanta, Los Angeles, Miami, and New York, I can tell you firsthand that it can be daunting working in the news. Of course, the organizations are in some of the biggest markets in this country.
Yes, the demand is high, but these next award winners supply their wide-ranging audiences with accurate reporting, thought-provoking investigations, and heartwarming stories that bring us all together.
So, ladies and gentlemen, here are the award winners in the large market radio, newspaper, and television categories.
Here are your 2026 NABJ Salute to Excellence Award winners for Radio, Network, Feature, The Sunday Magazine, 5 years after George Floyd murder, racial justice faces rollbacks. Pia Chattopadhyay, Andrea Huang, Howard Goldenthal, Brian Colton, CBC, Toronto, Canada. Top 15 markets. Documentary, The Amazing Henry Box Brown, Lisa Godfrey, CBC, Toronto, Canada. Feature, there are 2 winners. As Ann Arbor honors long-closed Jones School, alums recall a hub for Black life. Doug Tribu, Michigan Public, WUOM, Ann Arbor, Michigan.
The city of Ann Arbor has a new downtown historical marker. It honors Jones School, a public elementary and middle school that closed 60 years ago.
I'm happy because it's been recognized.
Did Chicago Public Schools do enough to stop racist bullying? Sarah Karp, Nader Issa, Chicago Public Media, Chicago, Illinois. News, investigative, manufacturing danger, the Biolab story, Pamela Kirkland, Georgia Public Broadcasting, Atlanta, Georgia.
Del County 911, how can I help you? We got a person head bus at Biolab.
News, series, Who Owns Chicago? Amy Chen, Esther Yoon Ji Kang, Angela Podesky, Alden Lowry, Alexandra Solomon, Chicago Public Media, Chicago, Illinois. Public Affairs, segment, What's That Building? Future Emmett Till House Museum, Sasha Ann Simons, Dennis Rodkin, Daniel Tucker, Chicago Public Media, Chicago, Illinois. Here are your 2026 NABJ Salute to Excellence Award winners for Newspaper, National, Commentary Essay, Trump is terrified of Black culture, but not for the reasons you think. Saida Grundy, The Guardian, U.S., New York, New York. Feature, Single Story, Black History Month, Saving Our Sisters, Cherie Curry, USA Today, Black History Month Special Edition, New York, New York. Investigative, Kenyan Housekeepers Investigations, Abdi Latif Dahir, Vivian Nirayam, Justin Sheck, The New York Times, New York, New York. News, series, Trump's attacks on diversity, Erica Green, The New York Times, New York, New York. Sports, American sports are turning up the volume of Afrobeats. Emmanuel Morgan, The New York Times, New York, New York. Newsroom staff, 101 to 200. Business. Black-owned bookstores in Chicago struggle after 2020 surge, as if supporting us was a trend. Mariah Rush, Chicago Public Media, Chicago, Illinois. Commentary essay. The untold segregation story that shaped a divided Houston. Joy Sewing, Houston Chronicle, Houston, Texas. Feature, single story. How Black mentors in Chicago are making college possible. Lisa Curry and Phillip, Chicago Public Media, Chicago, Illinois. Investigative. Social Security paid $80,000 for her care, yet this disabled Milwaukee woman slept on the street. Tamia Folks, Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Barbara Walker's family was desperate for answers. Her Social Security funds were vanishing week by week, and the caregiver tasked with managing them was non-responsive. Though representative payees are responsible for assisting those unable to manage their Social Security, experts say the arrangement is vulnerable to misuse.
News photo. Avenging the Ancestors. Jessica Griffin, The Philadelphia Inquirer, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. News series. Haiti's Lost Generation, The Miami Herald, Miami, Florida. News single story. Chicago's Death Gap, Kristen Schorsch, Chicago Public Media, Chicago, Illinois. Specialty. Lead pipe problem the worst in Chicago's majority Black and Latino neighborhoods. Amy Chin, Juan Pablo Ramirez Franco, Kirti Gopal, Clayton Aldern, Peter Aldis. Chicago Public Media, Chicago, Illinois. Inside Climate News, Brooklyn, New York. Grist, Seattle, Washington. Newsroom staff 201 and above. Business. After George Floyd's murder, Boston groups pledged $1 billion toward equity causes. Where did it go? Tiana Woodard, Vince Dixon, The Boston Globe, Boston, Massachusetts. Commentary essay. Commentaries by Cherie R. Curry on State of Diversity in 2025. Cherie Curry, Yohuru Williams, The Minnesota Star Tribune, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Feature, series. Blood on the Streets, Bob Holler, The Boston Globe, Boston, Massachusetts. Feature, single story. A wartime literary history uncovered, spelled with a double V. Robin Washington, The Minnesota Star Tribune, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Specialty, A Legacy of Pollution. Tiffany Cusack Smith, Mercedes Hamilton, Ariel Martinez. Newsday, Melville, New York. Here are your 2026 NABJ Salute to Excellence Award winners for television. Network, documentary. ABC News Studios, Hulu, Murder Has Two Faces. Robin Roberts, Lisa Cortez, Tara Malone, Katie Conway, Claire Weinrob, David Sloan. ABC News Studios, New York, New York.
Days after I escaped, he was already killing again. If they would have just believed me, who knows how many girls would still be here.
Feature, long form. ABC News Live Prime with Lindsay Davis, Emmett Till's murder 70 years later. Steve Osunsami, John Schlossberg, Jesse Bacus, Denise Rarig. ABC News, New York, New York.
Do you forgive Mississippi? Do you forgive America for what happened? Do you forgive those people?
If you don't forgive, God ain't forgiving you.
vengeance belongs to God, and you got to believe that.
Feature, short form. CBS Mornings, Fletcher Street Urban Riding Club, Michelle Miller, Chris Stover, Letty Childs, Craig Shea, Tony Furlow, Mark Mazariegos, CBS News, New York, New York. General Assignment News, long form. ABC News Live Prime with Lindsay Davis, revisiting the Voting Rights Act. Steve Osunsami, Sarah Avery, Janice McDonald, Jesse Bakis, Brianti Downing, Denise Rarig. ABC News, New York, New York.
Tell me, what was it like to vote back then?
When I was 18 and went down to the poll, what are you doing here? I said, I'm gonna vote. Who? Vote? For who? So they said stuff like that to scare you. And I voted and answered their question.
They asked you questions?
Yeah.
They gave you a test?
Yes. And then they let you vote.
General Assignment News, short form. ABC World News Tonight with David Muir, Erasing an American Icon. Rachel Scott, Claire Brinberg, Molly Nagel, Emily Cohen, Thomas Faisano. ABC News, New York, New York.
The Pentagon sparking outrage after removing from its website a story celebrating the Army record of American icon Jackie Robinson.
Jackie Robinson facing
Who broke the color barrier in Major League Baseball. Robinson was drafted during World War II. The story on the website included a description of his refusal to move to the back of an Army bus, an act that got him court-martialed and later acquitted. This morning, Robinson's story no longer available.
International. Famine in Sudan. Deborah Patta, Haytham Musa, Sarah Carter, Amar Awad, Barney Smith, Mishak Dubé. CBS News, New York, New York. Investigative. CNN investigates killing of Tanzanian protesters by police. Larry Madowo, CNN staff, CNN Worldwide, London, England. Public Affairs, interview discussion. 2020, Michelle Obama, the style, the power, the look. A conversation with Robin Roberts. Robin Roberts, Janice Johnston, Karen Leo, Gail Deutsch, Ebony Griffin, staff of 2020. ABC News, New York, New York.
But when we look around at truly who has built this country, it's all of us. And all of us is Black, brown, Puerto Rican, Mexican American, Italian, Irish, Haitian. Come on, you know, that's the story of America, right? And it is the most true in fashion. You know, you think about every seamstress that I know is from another country.
Public Affairs Program. Dead Zone. Carice Jackman, Owen Hornstein, Emily Featherston, Sarah Jane Tribble, Holly Hacker. Investigate TV, Washington, D.C. KFF Health News, Washington, D.C.
Where's the people at? Where are they? What are they doing? Playing dominoes or something?
The hospital's internet connection is too slow to support a modern monitoring system that would instantly alert nurses at their stations. Instead, they have to rely on the sound carrying through the halls, leaving patients waiting.
Public Affairs segment. ABC News Live, After the Ashes. Kana Whitworth, Seni Tianabeso, Emily Lipiello, Derek Yanahiro, Emily Bonilla. ABC News, New York, New York. Specialty. Katrina, 20 years later. Victor Blackwell, Michelle Moritz, Marianella Litscheidel, Jamil Whitlow. CNN Worldwide, Atlanta, Georgia. Sports. There are two winners. College Game Day, A World Away. Jose Morales, Vin Canamella, Blake Bowman, John N. Minton, Joseph Disney, ESPN, Bristol, Connecticut. College Game Day, The Guardian, Jose Morales, Joseph Disney, John N. Minton, Vin Canamella, Alex Nolan, ESPN, Bristol, Connecticut. Spot News, 60 Minutes, The Fires, Bill Whitaker, Nicole Marks, Mark Lieberman, Heather Abbott. Production staff of The Fires, CBS News, New York, New York. Top 15 markets. Documentary. The Price of Progress. Emerald Morrow, Amanda Cordero, Kyle Porter, Gregory Noel, WTSP TV, St. Petersburg, Florida.
Won't you carry these bones to their final home?
How in the hell can you dig a foundation and not hit nothing to know that it's a graves here?
Feature, long form. Is pollution from the steel industry behind cancer rates in Gary, Indiana? Dina Fry, Tara Molina, Michelle Youngerman, CBS Chicago, Chicago, Illinois.
No matter what you think about my black skin, my dark skin, I'm worthy. I'm worthy for this community to be cleaned up.
Feature, short form. Breaking Ground. Caitlin Ross, John Samuels. WXIA TV, Tegna, Atlanta, Georgia.
Tomatoes over here, watermelons over there.
In South Fulton, this 10-year-old farmer is proving success can take root anywhere.
You can only get it when it's orange.
In this backyard, the fruits of her labor aren't just measured in crops.
General Assignment News, short form. The Urban Cowboy. Brian Unger, CBS Atlanta, Atlanta, Georgia.
It's the story of a man, his land, and the law, and how the DA targeted him.
They felt that I probably wasn't going to be who I was, and they felt that I would just tuck my tail because I'm free, but I knew I did nothing wrong.
Investigative. Licensed and locked up. Dorothy Tucker, Reed Nolan, Sama Assad, CBS News Chicago, Chicago, Illinois. Public Affairs, interview, discussion. Inside New York's Civil Rights Handoff, Tara Rosenblum, Jean Salzarulo, Audrey Gruber, Alan Flamenhoft, Lee Daniff, Jonathan Gordon, News 12 Network, New York, New York. Public Affairs program, No One Will Do It For Us, Inside the Crisis in Black Maternal Health, a special report. Tennille Gibson, Jumi Olabanji, WRC-TV, NBC Washington, Washington, D.C., NBC Universal, New York, New York. Specialty, a devastating diagnosis. Georgia woman's fight against hair relaxer companies. Faith Jesse, Mike Nicholas, Daryl Pryor, Gabriela Nunez Garcia, Kira Breed Frisbee, Christy Anderson, 11 Alive, WXIA, Tegna, Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay. If you check her Instagram, she jokes that she's always been a non-award-winning journalist. But tonight, a much overdue celebration for a reporter who isn't afraid to dig deep.
The time has come. Our final recipient of the night places herself on the front lines of our nation's most consequential stories. More often than not, if you're reading a story from ABC News, it was written by her. And she uses her experience as a lifelong Washingtonian to provide context on stories that have made headlines in the nation's capital and to impact those living all in the corners of our country. Each step of the way, holding lawmakers, political figures, and activists accountable. No one's off guard.
With a front row seat to history, she gives a voice to those fighting for a true American democracy. Please help us congratulate Beatrice Elizabeth Peterson, NABJ's 2026 Journalist of the Year. Woo!
I am a national enterprise reporter at ABC News, so I cover anything that can happen around the country and around the globe, but a special emphasis on Washington, D.C.
Beatrice is such a powerhouse. She is someone who will go after the story with her full heart. She'll do amazing reporting, and there'll be no ego behind it. which I think allows her to really dive deep and connect with the characters in her story without making herself star of the show.
The most iconic interview that she's done has to have been the exclusive sit down with Tulsi Gabbard. She was able to do that with her sourcing and her long-standing relationship with covering Tulsi Gabbard.
There was a lot of news that came out of it, but I think it also impacted journalists to know that you don't have to be a big name to get big stories. You just have to be dedicated to the work.
Beatrice Peterson, ABC News. I was wondering, is this individual known to police?
Right now, this moment is so important. It's just been a lot of news that has happened that I've been able to cover. Confirmations and transitions and inauguration and the federal surge of law enforcement in Washington. I've been able to push the boundary on what stories are being told in what communities.
She's being able to shed a light, being able to tap into all of the skills and skill sets that she's learned to elevate her reporting and to elevate the stories that she's telling.
She works so hard. She doesn't do it for the glamour. She does it for the people. She does it for the work. She does it for the stories. She is journalism.
2026 NABJ Journalist of the Year, Beatrice Elizabeth Peterson.
Good evening, everybody. So I'm going to do something I almost never do. And for those of you in the room know me, I'm going to try and keep it short. I promise I'll be brief, but first I want to thank God, for without him, none of this would be possible. I also want to thank Terry and DeMarco and NABJ for this honor. It's just one of those very rare honors that you can't apply for. You can't nominate yourself for. And someone was kind enough to nominate me, my friend and former colleague, Robert Turner. Robin Turner has been in my corner since our days at Politico. And to be selected by my peers in journalism is an incredible honor. There's nothing like being recognized by people who understand what this work costs. You guys know the sacrifice. From missed birthdays to graduations to cookouts to so many events that I can't even count. And you know how it goes. If someone loves you just enough, they'll save you a plate. Foil and all. I missed a lot of cookouts to get this one. And last year, I was truly reminded how much this work can ask of you. For nearly 2 months, I was preparing for a historic confirmation on Capitol Hill. Journalism teaches you very quickly you can prepare for the story, but you cannot prepare for history as it unfolds. My father, a native Washingtonian and a bison, HU, you know. My father used to take me fishing along the Potomac. I grew up on those dark waters, and we always threw the fish back. If you're from DC, you know, you do not drink the fish out of the Anacostia River. He also told me about Air Florida Flight 90 and the 5 people who made it out of those icy waters alive. Unlike that miracle, this time no one survived, and I spent the night reporting from a makeshift morgue at Buzzard Point, while families gathered at Reagan National Airport, hoping and praying for good news that never came. And then the sun came up. I went home long enough to change my clothes, get into an Uber, and head straight to the Capitol for a historic confirmation I had spent months preparing for. And the year kept coming. From the shooting outside of the Capitol Jewish Museum to the National Guard members shot on the eve of Thanksgiving, intensified immigration enforcement, the presence of National Guard on our streets, and protesters filling the streets. An unprecedented federal law enforcement surge, including ICE and other agencies across the district. History was unfolding on the streets that I knew long before I ever carried a cell phone that has a notes app. Washington for me is not a deadline or a dateline. It is home. It is where I press t-shirts in my family's shop in Southeast. We called it the Hobo Shop, short for helping our brothers out. My family hired people who were coming out of halfway houses and gave them a path to the middle class. I grew up seeing what happens when someone refuses to count people out. My mother survived a double stroke when I was young. 9 months later, my father died, and family, neighbors, teachers, our church helped us keep steady. Years later, when I found journalism, people were willing to make room for me there. At 21 years old, I walked into the Washington Association of Black Journalists with a dream. No roadmap, but a dream. And suddenly I was in rooms with journalists I had grown up watching and reading, some of the very people who helped build NABJ. My school, a small little institution in DC, had no journalism program, no student newspaper, but I started at the bottom, watching, learning, working every desk I could. I kept working, I kept learning, and people kept taking chances on me. I want to thank my colleagues and leadership at ABC News and everyone who makes this work possible. From the producers, the editors, photographers, camera guys, crew, desk assistants, interns, security, hair and makeup. This award may carry one name, but journalism is never one person's work. I showed up early, I stayed late. I heard no, I kept going. I took the long way, but it still got me here, and the work continues. To all of them and to all of you, I say thank you.
I told her she is indeed one of the hardest workers I know. Let's give it up one more time for our Journalist of the Year, Beatrice Elizabeth Patterson.
And before we say goodbye, we're getting close, guys. Please welcome to the stage NABJ President Aaron Hayes.
Aaron!
Haven't they been excellent, you all? Oh, DeMarco, Terry, thank you so much. Good evening, NABJ family. Y'all look good. What a beautiful way to spend this evening. We have just witnessed the very best of what our profession can be. And I think nights like this are important. Because in a profession that can be relentless, we do not always stop long enough to recognize our excellence. Tonight we stop to say, this work matters. Black journalists deserve to be celebrated for the excellence that we bring to this profession every single day. I want to say to all of the nominees, to every finalist, and to every winner tonight, congratulations, because your work reflects the highest aspirations of NABJ. So I hope that you're taking this moment in. Now, before we close, I want to recognize some of the people who helped to make this organization what it is. First, I want to welcome our incoming and returning members of the NABJ Board of Directors, our parliamentarian, LaTanya Yarbrough, Treasurer Tyler Clifford, Academic Representative Lisa Armstrong, Media Representative Shanita Akintande, and Region 4 Director Aaron Day. Would you please stand? Serving NABJ is a privilege, but it is also work. It asks for your time, your judgment, your patience, and your commitment to something larger than yourself. I am really grateful that each of you has said yes to that responsibility, and I look forward to serving alongside you. A tremendous thank you to board members Roland Martin, VP of Digital, Corey Atkinson, our Secretary, Melanie Roy, our Region 1 Director, and Steve Crocker, our Region 3 Director. Could you please stand? I look forward to continuing to serve alongside you this year. Thank you for your partnership over the last year. And tonight, I especially want to recognize 5 leaders who are completing their service on this board. Treasurer Jasmine Stiles, Region 2 Director Angela Smith, Media-related Representative Rashonda Hall, Vice President of Print Eva D. Coleman, and Parliamentarian Sia New Yorker. Could you please stand? I want to say that your titles do not begin to capture the depth of your commitment and dedication to our beloved organization. I have deeply appreciated your partnership, your leadership, and your counsel over the past year. You have shown up for NABJ again and again. I am so grateful for your service, and I know that this organization is stronger because of it. Lauren Gilchrist, our student representative, I also want to recognize you for your continued service and your continued excellence in our profession. Your future is so bright. Would you please stand? I also want to take a moment to recognize Onyx Impact. This organization has pledged $200,000 this year in support of NABJ through its Invest in Black Media campaign and through a matching campaign earlier this year. Yeah, clap for that, because that investment matters. At a time when Black media and Black journalists are facing enormous challenges, supporting this organization is not simply an investment in NABJ. It is an investment in the future of Black journalism, in the people who produce it, and in the communities who depend on it. So thank you to Onyx Impact for standing with us. NABJ family, we are not quite done yet. When we leave this gala tonight, I hope that you will join us at the 2027 NABJ Convention Houston Kickoff Party. Yes, listen, Roland, I know you're excited. We're still in Atlanta, calm down. But I tell you, Houston is ready for us, y'all. And tonight is really our first chance to start getting excited about where this family is headed next. And before you make your way out of Atlanta tomorrow morning, please come worship, reflect, and fellowship with us at our gospel brunch. Now I want to take a moment to say thank you, especially to our staff. If our staff is in here, will you please stand and be recognized? Nate Chambers, Faye Seigers, Veronique Dodson. There are so many, we cannot do this work without our staff. We appreciate them so much. But I have to say that there's a particular person that I need to recognize right now, because I literally would not be standing up here in front of all of you without her, and I do mean this quite literally. This is a person who was one of the first people to welcome me into the Atlanta Association of Black Journalists, and who always cheered me on and lovingly corrected me and pushed me to be better. Throughout my career, And as I stepped into leadership at the local and national level in this organization, she has been the person who has encouraged me and who has given me counsel. Her warmth and humor and real talk have also gotten me through the highs and lows, not only of my profession, but also from this beloved organization. When I put myself forward to lead NABJ, this person stood at my front and my back, and she told me that she had me. She has kept her word from that day to this one, and I just really don't have enough words to express how much she means to me, not just for what she puts out every single day for NABJ, but for how much she puts in. Ladies and gentlemen, I need you to rise to your feet, and I need you to welcome to the stage the recipient of this year's President's Award, NABJ Director of Operations, Angela Y. Robinson. Angela's probably working. She didn't know she was getting this, you guys. Y'all go find Angela so she can come and get this. Angie, yes, I know that's right. Start the chant.
Oh, she was so shy.
Woo! That's it.
You can tell she's shocked.
She's like, what is happening?
Surprise, surprise.
I know, I had to say that. I love you so much, and I'm so proud of you. I appreciate you so much. You don't have to say anything, but you do have to take a picture. So
okay, well. I love you too. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Come on, y'all. We can sit down. Because we got to get out of here. We're on the clock. My heart is truly full and I am exhausted. We all are with joy of the possibility of NABJ and where we're moving to. I will tell you, she flat out lied to me. Thank you so much. Okay, yeah, okay. Dear, I stuck on my earring. Okay, understand. Yes, Terry, I understand, but I'm not in the mood. I love my sister Terry. Clearly, I'm full, and I'm so grateful. So grateful and so blessed. And I love this sister right here. We got to support this sister right here. She's trying to do her very best for this most precious organization. I wouldn't even be without the National Association of Black Journalists. I'm just so honored. My sister is here, and if she knew about this, oh yeah. That little so-and-so, I'm gonna get her. Oh yeah. I love you all. I do not want to take up a lot of time. We all work so hard for this organization. Keep doing it. It's our time to take over and to continue to be truth tellers. I come from a mighty village in ATL. Sisters say amen. And I'm so proud. People know I'm always, Greg Lee coined it, member first. Always member first. Proud to be your director. Operations, never thought it. But so proud to be a part of ATL. You don't get more ATLier than me. Hello? You don't get more journalists than me, and we all know you don't get much blacker than me. Hello? We all know. But we on a mission together. We're gonna keep praying. We're gonna keep marching. We're gonna keep bailing people out, because we're gonna go to jail. And we are going to keep telling the truth. Amen? Amen. Thank you so much. Thank you, Aaron. So very much. I love you.
Let's go take a picture. Yes. No, yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. let me put this behind you. Did you take it out? Okay. good one. That was a good one.
Whew, that was hard to keep from her. All right. Before we close, there's one more piece of our tradition that matters. You heard the names tonight, but I want to talk about why we name them. So each year at our annual convention, NABJ bestows its Thumbs Down Award on an individual or an organization whose actions undermine fair and accurate coverage of Black communities, reinforce racist or stereotypical narratives, or advance practices that conflict with NABJ's mission and values. This year, I believe it is especially important to understand this award in a larger context. At a moment when journalism is facing growing political, economic, and institutional pressure, the stakes extend beyond any single offensive statement, newsroom, who controls newsrooms, which journalists and beats receive investment, and which reporters can work without political or corporate interference, shape what stories get told, whose experiences matter, and whether journalism can hold powerful institutions accountable. These are not abstract questions, because they determine who gets to tell the story of America. And at a time when the public needs rigorous reporting on the forces that are shaping people's lives, eliminating journalists and subject matter expertise weakens journalism's ability to serve the public and hold power accountable. Now look, I know the Thumbs Down Award can make people uncomfortable. Good. Because accountability is not supposed to be comfortable. The theme of this week has been our revolution, truth, power, and Black journalism. We cannot spend an entire week talking about truth and power and then become timid when it is time to tell the truth to power. We cannot talk honestly about what is happening to journalism right now without talking honestly about who is making the decisions that are shaping journalism. These things don't just happen. Newsrooms don't become less diverse by accident. Journalists do not simply find themselves without institutional support by accident. Press freedom does not erode by accident. Editorial standards do not bend themselves. People make decisions. Executives make decisions. Government officials make decisions. Companies make decisions. And if NABJ is going to be serious about defending Black journalists and defending journalism itself, then sometimes we have to say their names. And so tonight, we did. Now I want to say something else, especially to our corporate partners who are in this room. Partnership does not mean silence. Partnership does not mean that you write a check to NABJ and we surrender our voice. Partnership does not mean that you send hundreds of your employees to this convention and your company becomes exempt from accountability. In fact, I would argue the opposite, because if we're truly partners, we should be able to tell each other the truth. I had conversations with some people this week about the fact that their organizations were going to be on this list. I heard the concerns. What will this mean for our relationship? What will happen if leadership gets angry or if they decide to pull their support? My response to that is simple. If a little accountability is enough to end a partnership, then we need to ask what kind of partnership we had in the first place. NABJ was not founded 51 years ago simply to create a great convention. Our founders created this organization because Black journalists needed collective power. They needed an organization that was willing to challenge newsrooms. They needed an organization that was willing to challenge this industry. They needed an organization that was willing to say, you can do better and we expect you to. That is still our job. And look, to the journalists who do the work inside the institutions that we named tonight, I need y'all to hear me clearly. This is not an indictment of you. It's quite the opposite. So many of you are in the gap every single day. You are pushing for better coverage. You are the ones that are fighting for your colleagues. You are asking hard questions in editorial meetings. You are challenging the decisions that the public may never even know that you challenged. We see you. And so this award is also an invitation to you. Keep pushing. Take this back into your newsrooms. Ask your leadership the questions that need to be asked. Push back when somebody tells you that accountability is bad for the relationship. Remind them that criticism from NABJ is not an attack on journalism, it is a defense of journalism. And look, let me be clear about something else. The purpose of the Thumbs Down Award cannot be to simply embarrass somebody for one night. That's not enough for this moment. Accountability has to lead somewhere. So going forward, I really want us to think about this award not simply as a verdict, but as a challenge. If we call you out, there should also be a path to doing better. If behavior changes, we should say so. If an institution listens, we should acknowledge it. If leadership engages with us seriously and makes meaningful changes, we should welcome that. Because the goal is not permanent condemnation. The goal is progress. But progress does not happen without pressure. There's a lesson that Black journalists know well, and that is that institutions rarely change simply because change would be the right thing to do. Somebody has to ask. Somebody has to push. Somebody has to organize, and somebody has to tell the truth. Sometimes somebody has to stand on a stage in a ballroom full of powerful people, sometimes with some of those people sitting right in front of you, and say, "This is not good enough." That is not disrespect, that is leadership. That is accountability. And in this moment, that is part of NABJ's responsibility. Tonight, we have celebrated excellence. But celebrating excellence also requires us to identify what threatens it. We are here to protect Black journalists. That means being willing to confront the systems and the people whose choices make your jobs harder. We are here to defend the truth. And that means telling it even when the truth makes our friends uncomfortable, especially then. So to everyone whose name was called tonight, hear this award for what I believe it should be. Not simply a thumbs down, but a call to do better. The door is open. The conversation is available and the opportunity to change is real. But NABJ will not be silent. Not in this moment and not on my watch. There can be no revolution without accountability. There can be no accountability without courage. And there can be no Black journalism that is worthy of its history if we are afraid to speak truth to power.
So
President
good.
Aaron
So good.
Hayes.
Yes.
Yes. I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that. Thank you for speaking those words. I just have to go off script. I know we're all getting out of here, so this is going to be really quick, but I have to go off script just to express my appreciation for tonight and all of you who do this work. I am so honored to be able to be here, to recognize you, to celebrate you, to love on you for the work that you do. You matter so much. And DeMarco, thank you so much. Thank you so much. You guys, you guys are out there fighting the fight. And, you know, just as a person in media in another lane, I know it's not easy, but I create these characters and these stories and these images on purpose, for a reason, to represent you, to help you in your job and in your work, and tell your stories through characters that are inspired by you. So just thank you. I am so honored. I'm so honored. I just had to say that. Okay, that was a lot.
All good.
That was a lot. But I had to get it off my heart. Just thank you, guys.
We love you.
Thank you.
Now allow me to go off script and let's show our appreciation to this woman. She's an actress, she's a director, she's a producer. Yes. We know her from Friday, Insecure, Greenleaf, The Steve Harvey Show, Soul Food, Miss Governor. Yes, we do. And she's also directing films in Italy, by the way. Yes, she is. So we want to say thank you for just lending your star power and just caring, because we need allies like you. Behind stage here when we did the Thumbs Down award there, she's the main one back there. She at the screen like, I'm like, you want to boot up? You want to join the fight? And this is literally, she's back there ready to fight. We appreciate that. We recognize it and we love you. One more time for Terry Vaughn, everybody.
Thank you. Okay, back to script. Okay, don't forget to take a picture with an NABJ award on the red carpet out front.
Please do so, and we hope you have enjoyed your time here in the ATL. Has it been fun, guys? Yes, it has. And this year's convention gets ready to wrap up. As it gets ready to wrap up, we look forward to the 2027's convention. H-Town is in the house.
So we're going from the A-Town to the H-Town. Houston, you're on the clock. Join us downstairs in the Imperial Ballroom for the 2027 kickoff party.
And be prepared. If you think Atlanta is hot, Houston feels like what? I won't say it up here, but it's hot. It's hot.
Yes, and I know Roland will be there partying all night. He will have a long line of people to dance with because he is a dancer. He is. You guys be safe and have a great time.
Bye, guys. God bless y'all, and we'll see you next year. Thank you.